Welcome back, rookies. I'm happy that you are back with me today. I've got a what sold video for you today, going over all of my October sales with a little bit of September sales as well, just to wrap up the end of September. So if you watch my other video, I did August 23rd through September 23rd. And so now I'm trying to stretch it out where it's just the 1st through the 31st, and we're almost there. So, September was a great month. So if you watched my last video, I went over September sales. It was my best month ever. 4 figures sales that we reached. That was profit, which is awesome. So thankful for that. I had high hopes that October was going to be as equally as amazing. It wasn't, fell short just a little bit, but still a great month. And November's looking good too. So it's a good trend. Things are looking up for Poshmark. I feel like it has been challenging for some of you who aren't getting as many sales as you're used to getting. Whether that be the Poshmark algorithm, the introduction to live shows on Poshmark, whatever it is, I understand. There are days that I think, what am I doing? This is not working. And then the next day I'll have several sales and I'm like, woohoo, I love selling on Poshmark. Most of my sales, okay, no sales in October on Mercari. And I feel like most of you are experiencing that same thing, at least from some of you that I follow on YouTube and on Instagram. Mercari was just dead for an entire month, at least for me. November hit and I'm back to making Mercari sales. I have no idea what's going on. Maybe they're ramping up, trying to keep up. I don't know. Whatever it is, cross-listing is important, even if the other platforms don't perform as well as your main one. For me, it's Poshmark. I only sell on Poshmark and Mercari. If you're new here, I am a part-time seller on Poshmark and Mercari. And I do cross-list because I see the benefit. My best performing platform for now is Poshmark. And I'm thinking about branching out at some point and selling on eBay. It scares me because I know there's a lot of scammers. There's more payout issues, things like that. And I'm nervous, but I know as part of growing, most of the resellers that I follow on Instagram and YouTube do eBay, and they do fairly well. So maybe that'll be my goal next year. We're getting close already to 2023, but maybe mid-year I will feel brave enough to branch out. So let's get started with what sold for October. Let's see, I should have wrote all my numbers down. Let's see, it looks like my total sales before fees was $1,401. So we're still in the 4 figures if you look at that number. However, after fees and my cost of goods, my total profit for October was $822.94. So we fell short of the 4 figures on the profit end, but not overall on the sales. So I'm gonna stay on the positive side and think about that number versus my actual profit number. So the first thing I sold, this is gonna be September 27th. I sold a pair of Lululemon Wonder Under Black high-rise leggings. Those cost me $397. I sold them for $49, making a profit of $38.41. Lulu is always great performing items in my closet. So continue picking those up and continue selling those. Those were a size 10, and I think those sold quicker because of the size. Normally, I feel like the sizes I find are smaller, like 4s and 6s. So these were a size 10. That's probably good, a good size to sell quickly. The next thing I sold on September 28th was a pair of Lucky Brand Harleen knee-high gray suede boots. If you watch one of my previous haul videos, these were beautiful gray suede lug boot, knee-high, something like that. They cost me $7.99. I sold them for $46. They sold so fast. They were so pretty. And I made $27.09 off of those. Next sale was September 29th. Steve Madden, they were a faux snake skin slip-on sneaker. I bought them for $8.12. I bought those on Whatnot. So I would have paid that much anyways at my Goodwill. So not a bad price. They sold for $30 and I've made a profit of $15.88. The next pair of shoes that I've sold are a pair of Coach men's loafers. I found these at a garage sale. I paid $5 for them. They were pretty like an old style, maybe like a grandpa loafer. They're still in pretty good condition. They just had some deep creases, but overall looked really nice. Set on those for a little while, but I sold them for $30 and I made $20.83 off of those. On September 30th, I sold a BB tropical print blouse. That was given to me by a friend, so no cost on that. So it was profit of $9.33, pure profit. We like that, even if it wasn't for very much. The next thing I sold was on also on September 30th, was a pair of UGG Classic tall boots. And I almost kept those. They were my size, they were very nice. But I feel like I'm in Texas, so we don't really need to wear big, furry, warm boots very often. So I decided selling those and making money would be a better option. I did have in my closet just in case they didn't sell. I was just gonna keep them and might wear them, but they did sell. I bought them for $7.99. They sold for $50 and I made a $38.29 profit. Now we're into October 1st. So October started out really strong. I mentioned that in the last video. The first 2 days of October were like 3 sales on Saturday, 3 sales on Sunday. And I was like, yay, the Poshmark algorithm is working in my favor. And then it died after that. So we had a few just dead days. But this was the first sale in October, was just a pair of faux suede moto leggings, a brand that I don't think is anything special. I bought them for $4.79, sold them for $19, made $8.69 on those. Then we have also on October 1st, these are probably like the first 3 sales of the month, a pair of Johnston & Murphy Barlow Venetian men's loafers. Bought them for $5.99. They sold for $36 and I made $21.09 off of those. I sold a lot of shoes. There's just shoes after shoes. I think I was just seeing that trend. Like, I think I almost posted it on Instagram. Like, this is your sign, list those shoes, because that was what was selling. But I have another pair of boots. They were also in that haul video with the other boots. They were a pair of Vince Camuto braided knee-high leather boots. They cost me $7.99. I sold them for $45. They sold really quickly. I made $28 and 1 penny off of those. And now we're on to October 2nd. I sold a pair of Chicos, which I think might have been my first time selling Chicos. I'll have to look back. I don't always pick up Chicos. I just try it every once in a while just to see how it works. But these were the So Slimming black pull-on jeans. They cost me $3. And I sold them for $16. So, you know, it's not a high profiting brand. It just may be a quicker selling brand. So something to think about. Sold them for $16, made $9.80 off of those. So the next thing I sold also on October 2nd was something that I was trying out for the first time. If you saw my other videos, I sold a vintage Victoria's Secret nightgown. It sold really quickly, sold for a good amount. And so I've heard of other people doing well with bras. So I decided to try some out. I found some, it was like 3 of them, Victoria's Secret bras that just looked like they're in really great shape. They were a bigger size. Didn't know, this is totally experimental. The bras that are my Goodwill, let's see, I paid $1.72. So that was worth trying, just experiment to see how they did. This one is the Secret Bombshell Plunge Studded Lace Bra. And that one I sold for $20, so that's decent. So I made $14.28 off of that one. So definitely, if you see a good quality, maybe some of the push-up or some of the higher, nicer end Victoria's Secret bras, and your cost of goods are really low and they're in good shape, then just try it out. It's just kind of a low-risk purchase, I believe. So the last thing I sold on October 2nd was a Free People turtleneck. It was gingham. I bought it at a garage sale for $2.55. That was my average cost of goods for this particular garage sale that I went to. I sold it for $20 and made $11.73 off of that. All right, the next one is didn't happen until October 6th. So we have 4 days with no sales. That's not typical, not typical. What's the word? That is not out of the ordinary for me. Typically, most of my sales happen between like Thursday, Friday night, and then like Sunday, Monday night. I don't know why. And then in a random Wednesdays. I don't know. I'm interested. I feel like it has something to do with payday, but then I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe just people get the urge to shop on those days. But I sold this Intimately Free People Italian Love Story lacelet. I have no idea what this thing is. It's completely sheer lace on the bottom, and then in the picture you'll see modeled with nothing underneath. I don't know what it was, but it sold quickly, and it was a very popular piece that had very high sales price, like average sale price. I spent $7.49 on it. It sold for $52. So wow, yes. Love Intimately Free People items. This one especially. So I made $32.39 off of that one. All right, and October 7th. So that was one sale one day, and then the next one I have another 3 sales in one day. This was October 7th. I'm guessing that's probably one of the weekend sales. But it's a Vince Camuto Houndstooth blazer. Very nice shape. Cost me $6.74. I sold it for $43, and so my profit was $27.66 on that one. Blazers are, I think, a pretty good staple, and I've had pretty good luck selling blazers. So if you're not picking blazers up, definitely look into what people are looking for. But it just seems like maybe the oversize is something that people are looking for, and just maybe some neutral type pieces that can, elevate an outfit for work or for, a date, whatever. Next sale on October 7th was Anthropologie. It was an eyelet jumpsuit, strapless eyelet jumpsuit. I bought that for $9.99. So this is, when you start seeing those prices go up at Goodwill, it kind of hurts. It hurts, but looking at comps, I guess, justified me purchasing it. It did sell for $30, and I made $14 off of that, and 1 penny. The next item, also on October 7th, was a Michael Kors mini skirt that I picked up at my one and only Ben's trip. Sat on it forever. So that was like back in March March. I think it was spring break. I took my girls to the Ben's to just have that experience. And I picked this up. So I paid, it's like $1.69 at this Goodwill outlet. It's kind of per pound, so I know this skirt was nowhere near a pound, but I just didn't want to do the math. So I just called my cost of goods $1.69. Okay, so I'm going to say I sold it for $5. I made 36-cent profit off of that. The reason why I sold it for $5, I decided to run a sale because I got those like nerves when you're not making sales and you start freaking out. And so I ran a sale on just some dead stock in my closet that I was just tired of looking at, tired of sitting on, things that didn't cost me a whole lot. I just lowered to $5. Lesson learned. I found out the hard way that Poshmark charges a flat rate fee, their fees of $2.95, under $15. So to sell something at $5 and have Poshmark take 3 of that, that hurt. So I learned that there is a flat rate fee for sales under $15, $2.95, period. So my recommendation, unless you want to give it away, make hardly anything, not worth your time. Do not list anything for under $15 if you can help it, because it's not worth it. That's my rant. So I made 36 cents off of that skirt. I'm just glad it got out of my closet and I didn't lose money. The next thing I sold on October 8th was a Buff Bunny Jasmine joggers. They cost me $4.79. I sold them for $15, and my profit was $7.21. My first time experimenting with Buff Bunny. I had heard another YouTuber rave about Buff Bunny, and so I was excited that I found it. I don't know if there's that much excitement over Buff Bunny on the resale side. Maybe on the retail, not so much on the resale. Maybe that's just one item. I can't say for all that you wouldn't have luck selling Buff Bunny, just my experience. It just didn't go for very much, and it didn't go quickly. The next one sold on October 9th, Smart Wool Thermal Merino Base Layer Bottom. They were just like 100% wool base layer legging. They were so nice. They were so comfy, and I'd heard about Smart Wool before, had no idea, and I learned really quickly. Definitely, you see Smart Wool, pick it up. They only cost me $3.97. Sold them so fast, had lots of interest in them. Sold for $52 for just these wool leggings. And they weren't like a thick, itchy wool. They just felt really, really like soft cotton. But I made $35.91 off of that. So yes, that's my only time finding Smart Wool, and I hope to find it again in the near future. The next thing I sold was on October 10th. It was a pair of Schutt's black peep toe suede heels. I picked these up at Uptown Cheapskate. So I paid up for them a little bit, but I heard Schutt's was really good. This was my first time picking it up. Thought I would try it out. Bought them for $11.99 at Uptown Cheapskate. They sold for $30, not bad. So I made $12 off of those. Not much, but you know, something it was worth learning or worth experimenting with. Next sale was on October 12th. This was a Looney Tunes embroidered Bugs Bunny wearing a tuxedo t-shirt. People have had really good luck selling t-shirts and just funky ones and Looney Tunes. And so I thought I'd give it a try. I found it at a garage sale for $5. Sold for $15, so it wasn't a lot. But my profit was $7, so we'll take it. Next sale, also on October 12th, was if you watched my haul video, it was my fall haul video, was a bunch of cashmere and wool and all kinds of good things like that for the fall. This one was the Alex Marie cashmere turtleneck sweater. It was a royal blue, really pretty. That cost me $3.12. I sold it for $20, and I made $12.88. Next sale again on October 12th. It looks like October 12th was a good day. I made multiple sales on that day. This was the an Athleta asymmetrical long sleeve top that I had been sitting on for quite some time. And this was one of those $5 sales. So I purchased this shirt for $4.79 at Goodwill, sold for $5. Yeah, we went in the red on that one. Lost $2.74. So lesson learned, don't do that again. Another sale on October 12th. This looks like my fourth sale and last sale on October 12th. This one's interesting. I need to tell you a backstory here. So these are a pair of Abercrombie & Fitch Curve Love skinny jeans. I have sold these jeans, like these jeans. I sold them. I don't remember if it was on Poshmark or Mercari, but the person who bought them, they were delivered to the post office and she was supposed to go pick them up. I was messaging her back and forth, and she did respond one point. She's like, oh yeah, I was wondering where those were. I'll definitely go pick those up. She never did, and they came back to me. I still got paid for them because I had actually reached out and told them, hey, they're there. She's just not picking them up, and it's holding up my payment. So they went ahead and paid me out for these jeans. Yeah, I may be telling on myself. So they came back to me. So I'm like, I already made money on these. I'm going to sell them again. So this time they didn't cost me anything. And I sold them for $23, which I think might have been more than I sold the first pair for, somewhere close to it. I made $18.40. So, woo! I mean, I'm curious if that's happened to anybody else where a customer didn't pick their things up from the post office and they came back to you and you resold them. And then you got to sell the same item twice. I mean, that's a great scenario in my book. Sad for them. They had lots of opportunity. I sent them many, many messages reminding them. They didn't. So, not on me. I'm sure she got her money back too. I don't know how that works, but oh well. Moving on. Next sale was on October 13th. It was a pair of Fry slip-on shoes. Now, these were kind of beat up. They were dated, worn out, but I'd never seen Fry before, and so I was like, well, they were $1 at a garage sale, so I'm gonna give it a try. So I bought them for $1. I sold them for $19. I was like trying to come down on them because I know they weren't in the best of shape, but I made $14.20 on those. However, if you follow me on Instagram, I found a pair of Fry boots that are out of this world amazing. They're a pair of men's riding boots that were in such beautiful, beautiful condition. And I just listed those today. I listed them for $178. So ooh, I hope they sell quickly and close to that amount. That would be my highest single item sell, I think. So wish me luck. Send me all the good vibes that those do sell. That Fry is awesome. So excited about that. Next sale, also again on October 13th, was Zara Woman floral print velvet mini dress. Really cute. Bought it for $6.99. Sold it for $15. Not as much as I would have liked because this thing was so cute. But anyways, I made $5. Not great, but oh well. Win some, you lose some. The next thing was another Zara. This was another thing that I picked up at that same binge trip. Sat on it forever. It was kind of a Y2K denim skirt. I knew maybe it wasn't the most current style, but I considered it $1.69. It was probably less than that. This was another $5 sale, but luckily we didn't lose money. We made a whole 36 cents, but old stock, dead stock, gone. So I'm happy about that either way. Now I'm going to butcher this because I'm not one of those, luxury brand people, but I found this Givenchy, yeah, I think I said that right, cardigan. It was a vintage one, very cute. It had like these little, I think it's called pointelle hearts all over it. Super cute, sold really quick, cost me $3.74. Sold for $30 really quickly, and I made $20.26 off of that cute little cardigan. The next thing I sold was on October 14th. So again, ooh, yes, October 14th was another good day. We made 4 sales on the 14th. This is the 3rd sale on that day. It was a pair of Eileen Fisher crepe stretch ankle pants. Those cost me $4.79. Sold them for $22 and made $12.81. The next thing on October 14th, and the last thing on October 14th, was also in that last haul video, that fall haul video, was that pole button-down tunic. It was like an ombre dip dye looking button-up tunic. $4.49 was the cost of that. I sold it for $22, and so I made $11.39 off of that. The next item, this was on October 15th. This Bape and Mastermind ape head t-shirt. It was double-sided, really nice. A very expensive brand of t-shirts. Cost me $1.72. Sold it for $40 and made $30.28. So that Bape stands for bathing ape. So be on the lookout for that brand. If you can get it authenticated, it's even better because there are fakes out there. Next thing I sold on October 15th was the other Victoria's Secret bra that I was referring to. It was a floral one, very secret, very sexy, I guess, push-up bra. And I bought it for $1.72, sold for $20. So that seems to be the sweet number, I think, is around $20 for the Victoria's Secret bras. And I made $12.56 off of that. The next thing I sold, I found at a garage sale. It was a Coach purse. It was in really good shape. It was the Chelsea pebbled leather. It looked like maybe it was an older style, I'm not sure. But I sold it for $48 and it sold really quickly and made $31.68. So great deal, great find on that. The next thing I sold on October 16th was a pair of Vionic, one of my favorite shoe brands to sell, Piper Leopard penny loafers. Those cost me $2.24. They were in gorgeous condition. Sold them for $41 and I made $28.84 off of those. So yes, Vionic almost always. I think I just sold my last pair this last week, I believe. So I don't sit on those for terribly long. Even in somewhat rough condition, they can still sell, but better obviously if they're in really good condition. And if they have the cushioned insole still in place, that's always pretty important, I think. I had a pair of some ballet flats, leopard ones. They were missing the insole, and I sat on those for a while, and they didn't go for very much. Of course, they were pretty beat up too. These, however, were in great shape, had the insole, did very well. The next thing on October 16th, another good day, we had 3 sales that day, was this Guess corduroy Sherpa bomber jacket was a men's, was new with tags. Their price on that at Goodwill, I was like, but it was fine because I looked at comps and it was enough to justify spending it. But it cost me $12.74. I sold it for $50, so definitely good. Glad that I picked that one up. Made $27.26. And on the 17th of October, I sold a Boston Proper marled slouchy tunic sweater. Cost me $5.62. Sold it for $24 and made $11.86. The next sale on October 17th was White House Black Market skinny low-rise stretch black pants. So this was a pair of jeans that I picked up in the very beginning of reselling, thinking that White House Black Market was a great brand to pick up. Boy, was I wrong. It just sits, and it doesn't resell for much. I wasn't even taking good pictures then, so you can see, like, that picture, no wonder it's that. Anyways, you see my progression from those pictures to what I'm doing now. Huge difference. But I bought them for $7.79. Don't do that. Sold them for $8. Oh no, we lost money on that one. We lost $4.46. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. But it's gone. It's gone. It's found its new home, and I'll move on. Next, on October 18th, a pair of Brooks. This was, I think, my first time picking up Brooks. I had one other pair that I had picked up that were kind of beat up, but these were almost brand new. I bought them at a garage sale. A lady had worn them maybe twice, and she just didn't like the way they fit. So I paid up for them, but it was definitely worth it. I paid $20 for them. It took me so long to decide, like, should I spend $20 on these? I think I can resell them, but I hadn't had much experience selling Brooks, even though I know that they do pretty well. Turns out they do pretty well. I sold it for $52 because it was in such good shape. So I made $19.88 off of those Brooks. Better to pick up from Goodwill if they're in good shape because they're lower cost of goods. But if you find some Brooks at a buy-sell trade store, or like me, a garage sale, and they are in light new condition, you can pay up just a little bit. Just be careful. All right, the next sale was on October 19th. It was a Talbot's, another turtleneck sweater. It was also cashmere. I paid $3.12 for those. It sold for $21, and I made $13.68 off of that. The next was on October 21st. It was another pair of Vince Camuto boots. They were the studded riding boots. Very pretty. It did have one flaw. It was missing the Vince Camuto like emblem grommet on the back. Not super noticeable, but I did note that flaw on there. So it did take them a little while to sell, but I spent $7.99 on them. They sold for $32. I was willing to come down just because of that issue. So I made $15.89 off of those. All right, October 23rd was another pair of Lululemon. Oh, I'm sorry, these are not pants. This is maybe my first Lululemon shirt to sell. It was a long sleeve yoga workout top. It was my size. I thought about keeping it. I don't really wear workout tops a whole lot. It's mainly just like I wear a t-shirt. So this one cost me $4.99. I sold it for $20. So their shirts maybe don't go for as much as the leggings. That's really what people want. But still great money to be made there. So I made $11 and a penny off of that. The next thing on October 23rd was a pair of Adriana Goldschmied, the Prima cigarette leg. Cost me $7.79. Sold them for $19.10. Not as much as I would have liked. And okay, because this was in a bundle. That's why we came down off of those. So that I made $7.49 off of those jeans. So this bundle all happened on the 23rd. It was a person who added 5 things from my closet into their bundle. So the first thing was the Adriana Goldschmied jeans, and then they had another pair of Lululemon High Times laser cut leggings. Those cost me $3.97. Sold them for $35.38 in that bundle, and I made $24.33 just for that particular one. I don't remember what the total amount for that bundle was, but anytime anybody makes a bundle, it makes me very happy because I know that's just moving items out of my closet. And so I'm willing to go at a deeper discount just to help move all those things out and to motivate them to take advantage of discounted shipping and all that good stuff. So they also included a pair of J. Crew high-rise skinny jeans. I'd been sitting on those for a while, so I was happy to come off of those. They cost me $6.99, sold them for $17.69, and made $7.16 off of those. The other thing they added into that bundle was a pair of On running shoes. So I think this was my first pair of On running shoes to sell. They cost me $11.91 because I did pay up for those, I think through pot purchasing on Poshmark. Sold them for $45.99 and made $24.88 off of those. The last thing in this bundle was another pair of Lululemon. So did they have 3 things? No, that was just the first sale on that day. That was not in their bundle, but they did have 2 Lululemon things. This was the Wonder Under Crop. These were just a busy kind of print, I believe, in this one. It cost me $5.29, sold it for $31.84, and made $20.19. Another sale, man, the 23rd was a good day because we not only had the bundle of 5 items, there were 3 other things that sold that day too. So woohoo. It was a pair of Free People Movement Kyoto leggings. They cost me $3.97. I sold them for $28, made $16.71 off of those. The next thing and last thing that sold on October 23rd was the DL 1961 Emma Maternity Skinny Jeans. It was my second pair of DL 1961 maternity jeans to sell. So that's definitely a good Bolo brand to look out for, especially in maternity. I think I have a pair of DL 1961 just jeans in my closet and they haven't sold yet. So the 2 maternity hats. So definitely go for the maternity side if you're going to go with that brand. But they cost me $8.49, sold them for $36, and made $18.59 on them. October, see, we're getting close. We're almost to the end of October. I don't even remember what the total number of items I sold. I'll include that up on the screen. But I think it was somewhere around 48 to 52 items I sold in October. So that's how many we've been covering in this video. So this next sale was on October 24th. It was a Zara black tulle sheer top. It was new with tags that I picked up at a garage sale. Got it for $3, sold it for $24, and made $17.60. I love picking up and selling Zara. It does so well for me. It's not crazy high except for that polka dot set I had shared in the last video. Cue the dog barking just in time. They've been good up to this point, so I won't complain too much. But yes, Zara does really, really well, and I like picking it up. So the next and very last thing I sold in October was a pair of Sanitas. They were like a wood clog sandal. I bought those for $2 at a garage sale. They sold for $29, and I made $22.96 off of those. So to go over all those numbers again, the total sales amount before cost of goods and fees was $1,401. That's a hard number to say. $1,401. How much I made after fees was $1,090. After cost of goods, $822.94. I'll have all those specific numbers up on the screen for you if that is helpful, so I don't have to go over each one of those, but you can kind of just see the rundown. So while we fell short in September from our fell short in October of our 1,000 goal that we had in September, I'm still happy with October. November is going really well, going really strong. My cost of goods, oh man, I missed out on that number. I'll also include that on the screen post-edit. My average cost of goods, my average sales price, and all of that for the month I'll have up there. All is well in the resale world. It is a roller coaster. It changes daily. You never know what you're gonna get. It's like Forrest Gump in the box of chocolates. That's what the reselling is. Reselling is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Each and every day it's different, it's new, it's challenging. October. September was a great month. October came and people were sending those lowball offers. It was just like every single offer that I got was all a lowball offer. Like it wasn't I sent an automatic 20% off any likes in my closet, which I feel is very generous. People were coming back counter offering way lower than that. And it was so hard to make those decisions, but I wanted to make sales, not at the cost of like losing money, but just to have some like momentum and forward motion. I went ahead and accepted a lot of lower offers just so I can have those sales. They were still good. They were still making money. it created this issue of, my average sales price going down for the month of October. So it's just the cyclical, is that the right word? Cyclical issue with reselling. It is cyclical. It comes in waves. It's like a roller coaster. You just up and down, up and down. But as we approach the holidays, I'm really interested to see how that affects our sales. Is it going to create, are people going to be buying more pre-owned things, reselling items? I don't know. I'm interested to see. If you've been following me, I've only been reselling since March. So this is my first holiday season reselling. So I'm really curious how the month goes. So Poshmark is pushing this whole secondhand Sunday, which is following Black Friday, to just promote secondhand shopping. And I don't know that they're offering any incentives, although I've heard people say, wouldn't it be great if they offered free shipping? Absolutely, that'd be amazing. Even if they just did the $4.99 shipping where they're not charging us to drop that shipping price down, that would help significantly and would encourage people to shop secondhand. We shall see. That's coming up in a couple of weeks. So I'm curious if Secondhand Sunday is going to be a busy day for me. I hope so. Maybe I'll run a really good sale that day, which is probably going to be my goal. Maybe do a 30% off, maybe be super generous and do 35. We'll see. Let me know if you're planning on doing a sale, running a sale for Secondhand Sunday or Black Friday weekend, and what offer you're going to be sending out, what kind of discounts you're going to be offering. And so let's just hope for a good November as we lead into December, and hopefully sales are going to be good. If not, stick with it, stay positive, knowing that once the first of the year hits, comes and goes, it'll start picking back up again and we'll all be okay. So thank you for joining me for a What Sold video. If you liked any part of it, if you find me the least bit entertaining, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. And if you want to follow along and be a fellow rookie, feel free to subscribe. And if you want to be notified when I post a video, which right now is not as often as I'd like, once a month, hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified when I do post a video. Thank you for following along, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.